Armageddon's bit on the site where we are celebrating the end of the world. Yes, Armageddon is over.
But the repercussions will be felt for weeks.
They will. For the next hour, we're going to be sifting through the rubble to find signs of psychological life.
But can I just say, two very, very, very special guests in the audience tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Phil Mitchell is up there. Let's give a round of applause for Phil Mitchell. And... Right, and just step aside. We don't do this very often. My brother's turned up. It's my brother. It's my brother's turned up.
To see you.
Isn't that nice?
To see you. Oh, bless him. Bless him.
What? Told you. What a week. Armageddon came and went. Danielle was exposed and Bianca got fully exposed in some sewage. Not forgetting Marlon's surprise eviction. Who's Marlon?
Oh, don't
Anyone?
know.
Anyone? Do you remember Marlon? I don't remember him.
Listen, basically, there's loads to get through, but right now it's time to complete our little pyramid of dreams. Now, Louisa has gone to America, so we've called in someone even mathier. Please welcome Vanessa Feltz. Murphy.
Oh, yes.
She's Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Feltz.
Hello.
All right, Feltz. Hey.
You all right?
I'm all right. I'd like to say, what a shame Armageddon's over so soon.
I know,
I was thoroughly
it's
enjoying
over.
seeing them suffer and squirm.
I wanted it a little bit longer,
I'd have
to be
liked it
honest.
longer, much longer.
Well, do you know what? There's going to be stuff in store, so
Is
don't
there?
worry too
Oh,
much.
good,
But listen,
good.
before we take a little look back at the week, we should mention... I know. Firstly, I've got to mention that earlier today it was announced to the House that after being taken ill and spending the night in hospital, it has been decided that Kimberly will not be returning to the House. I know. Here is what happened when the news was announced this morning.
This is Big Brother. Housemates. Yesterday, Kimberly left the Big Brother house for medical reasons. And Big Brother can now give you an update on this situation.
Oh no.
Kimberly is being treated for her condition and is feeling better. But, unfortunately, she is not well enough to return to the Big Brother house.
At all?
Kimberly will not be returning to the Big Brother house.
Oh no.
She must be so sick.
She must be really sick.
Shit. We're going to wish her a speedy recovery, so Kim, we hope you get well soon, babe. But let's talk Armageddon. Vanessa, what have you made of the week?
Oh, well, I thought it was absolutely sensational. I love to see the discomfort, the misery, the wretchedness. I love to see the resolute endurance suddenly fall apart and turn into full scale. Oh, panic! Where's my hairdryer? Where's the kettle? I'm dying. I can't survive.
That's what I like. I like the suffering.
Yeah,
I don't like it when they've got everything they want and they're having a laugh.
I don't
like
want
it
to
when
see
they're
them getting
falling
drunk and
apart.
eating fried chicken. I want to see them hungry, miserable, wretched and suffering.
They were stripped of the basics. Food supplies
Yes.
were low.
Everything.
Eating potatoes and prunes out of cans. You'd have coped terribly, wouldn't you? In that, you like your
When I was
luxuries.
in, we had to do it for a day.
For a day. You had to do it for a day. Oh, you celebs. We didn't get any food for a day.
No,
it was awful.
no, it was a day.
I was on the phone to my agent.
No, don't. They took away all the makeup. They took away absolutely everything. We were eating like this, what I described as shit-flavoured jelly out of a can. It was awful, but then at 11 o'clock at night, they gave us an Indian.
Yeah. You see. Who do you think handled it the worst this week?
I thought Mark was a little bit agitated, didn't you? I thought
Yeah.
his kind of very happy persona seemed to sort of disintegrate just a little bit before our very eyes.
He did go a bit nuts, didn't he? A bit
Yes,
stir-crazy. A bit
yes.
feral.
I thought there was a bit of problems with him. I thought everyone just got tired, disgruntled, fed up.
Beautiful.
Then you got Helen and Ash arguing.
Oh, it's all gone
that
on.
was really quite
it's
fabulous,
all gone on.
wasn't it?
Well,
Loved that.
we're going to be focusing a bit more on Armageddon a little bit later on in the show, but we have to mention the newbies. Ness, how was it having new ones in there?
Well, obviously, if you're already in there and they come in, you hate their guts. You detest them on sight. Who are these people encroaching on our territory, possibly getting our votes, maybe getting off or copping off with a guy or girl that we or both that we fancied? Both, I think, in the case of some of them who came in.
Yeah.
That we fancied all along. Oh no, we hate you on sight. And then you thought, my God, that is actually Zoe Birkett.
I know!
That was a bit of a shock.
Zoe Birkett!
Who's actually an all-round good egg, isn't she?
I know.
And boy, can she sing.
Oh,
It was
she's
a
got
bit
a voice.
peculiar hearing her singing while Bianca was grinding her you-know-what into Helen's... I mean, that was a bit odd, wasn't it? In terms of a sort of operatic kind of aria. Could have been Austria, really, when you think of what was going on.
Bianca has gone. I think they made the wrong choice.
Really?
Because For me, I mean, yeah, Zoe Burkett, she should be voted out just because of the trousers she was wearing when she came in.
Oh, that's a bit mean.
Pav is a div. Oh, Pav, you're tiny. We get it. Get over it. Bianca, I thought was a bit exciting.
Do you know what? We've got to move on, but I've got to say, I think Bianca has definitely gone too soon.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely gone too soon for me. But listen, let's move on to our favourite
Sure
moments.
about that.
Don't start.
I'm not
Don't
certain
you
about
start.
that.
You're wrong, Phelps.
I think she's a girl with issues. That's what I'd like to say.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think she's a girl with issues.
I think after the other night, she's a girl that needed a couple of tissues.
I
from
think
what
she
I could
needed
see.
issues and tissues. I'm not sure. I think she needs to go home and get sorted out, really.
Let's have a little
quite
look at your favourite moment
Yes.
of the week.
What? There's been an evil message written, everyone. I'm really scared.
Word.
On the mirror.
What's it say?
What does it say?
What does it say? I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. In evil letters.
That's a why that one.
Because it was pure drama queenery, because he wasn't scared in the least. He was just hamming it up. He's hilarious.
My favourite part
hysterical.
of that was it's been written in evil letters.
It was
As opposed
just
to normal
brilliant.
letters.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I
normal
loved
letters.
it.
Let's have a look at your...
Oh, yes, this is a good one.
Winston, have you ever done it on rubble? Have you ever done it on rubble?
Done a rubber?
Have you ever done it on rubble?
Oh, on this rubber?
Yeah.
What? Done what?
Rubble.
What, I had sex?
Have you ever had sex?
What, on this rubble?
Would you like to find out?
What, how it feels on this?
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be a bit uncomfortable.
Would you like to find out? Should we fuck on this tonight? Winston, do I make you feel a little bit scared?
Nah.
You know what you should do?
Don't make me laugh. What makes me laugh the most about that?
Yeah.
It's like people in Essex, we tend to talk quite fast and we understand each other, but it was like one of them wasn't from Essex.
You haven't done it in
It's like,
rubble.
what?
You haven't done it in rubble.
It's
You haven't done it in rubble.
because,
You've done it in rubble. So I scare you. You've done it in rubble.
she doesn't pronounce the L in rubble. Rubble. Not rubble.
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 It's
Every time
rubble.
she said rubble, he thought she said rubber.
she
No, but it's
went-
rubble.
Rubber, same thing. She said
She
rubble.
went-
Like
she-
football, not football.
Football.
What? Football. Football.
Bloody
Football.
elocution lessons with Vanessa Phelps. Hey, right, let's have a look at yours.
Come on, man.
Bianca's just crawled naked into the sewage pool.
This is not happening.
Oh my god. Bianca! Bianca, get on! Oh, come here.
Babe, that's sewage.
B. Right, come on, you. Let's be happy. Get you. Yes.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
This is what annoys me. This is what annoys me.
I love it.
Britain, you have made the wrong choice.
have.
She should be in there till the end, you fools.
All three of our clips involve Bianca.
Are you sure you
Do you know
said
what I mean?
clips?
Yeah,
what were you
clips.
saying there? I wasn't sure what she was
Clips.
showing there. Was it a clips that she was showing?
It's an Essex thing.
I'm not quite sure.
Listen,
I thought the best bit was Zoe's face. Like, ah! It was shock horror, wasn't it?
I weren't looking at Zoe's face.
Oh
But
my
listen,
God.
we're going to be taking this chat to another level when our Sykes join us in just a few minutes.
Plus, your latest evictee, Danielle, will be here for Bot's own brand of therapy. See you in a second.
Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Psych, the show that, just like Stephen, can get a lot done in 2 seconds.
I'm a virgin. Don't know why I said that.
are.
Now it's time to meet the Sykes. First up, it's psychotherapist Rachel Morris.
Yes, right.
And despite my emails to the head of Channel 5, she keeps coming back. It's psychologist Dr. Funky.
Can't get rid of her. Listen, it was arguably the most eventful week we've had so far. Armageddon has turned their world a bit upside down. Rach, how do you think it's impacted them at the start of this week?
I think the threat of Armageddon really forced them into the fourth stage of group dynamics, really, and straight into the working stage, which means that they were performing very well. They each had their role, and they were really kind of connected. Just at the very beginning, before the housemates came in, the threat made them pull together towards a common goal.
Funk, how do you think?
We were pulling together towards a common goal in the break, weren't we?
Funky, how do you think they coped without basics?
I mean, generally, I totally agree with Rachel. They've coped very well. But I think the person that I started to see kind of just feel it impacted on him was Danielle. We started to see her go a little bit introvert, and you know, when she's here,
we're going to touch on that a bit later on, actually, when she's here. Vanessa, who do you think coped the best sort of with their survival skills?
I think Helen always copes incredibly well in every situation. It really doesn't matter which the situation is. I mean, having a lap dance, I mean, whatever it is, she seems to rise extraordinarily well to everything, presumably because she's in this position of ultimate power, isn't she? So she's so safe. Yeah. You can see that incredible security emanating from her. Whatever you tell her to do, ask her to do, she does it.
Whatever people think of her, she is dealing with the game well.
She actually is. She's dealing with it incredibly well.
They've had a tough time, as if losing the kettle wasn't bad enough. New people went in the house, Rachel. What effect do you think that's going to have on the group?
Well, what Big Brother did was set off a series of small charges, small explosions that went off one after the other. And what we saw happen immediately, that great cohesion shattered. They scattered back to their couples. Do you remember at the beginning when they were in twos? It forced Ash and Helen together. Mark and Christopher got closer.
That seems like
Danielle
yesterday.
and Chris and Ashley, they've all kind of gone back into their little twosomes.
Funky, who do you think struggled the most with the arrival of the three newbies?
Danielle. I think Danielle, but I also think the couples, because we saw the first arguments with the couples. But Danielle, because, you know, Bianca came in with all this information. Danielle's thinking, well, what does she know about me? Or what is she going to say about me?
See, I thought that Danielle to one side, I thought Stephen also handled it really badly. Suddenly he became really threatened.
I totally agree with
When he was having that chat with Pav, and he's going, well, yeah, but you know more about us than we know about you. He's getting all a bit defensive, a bit arsey.
Right.
There's a word for that, and you've said it before, and I can't remember. I'm not going to mug myself.
Twat?
What?
No. I don't know. What word was it?
No, it was like...
Go on, be psychological.
Defence mechanism.
Defensive something behaviour.
See, anyone can do your job.
You're trying to be a psychologist, aren't you?
I know, and I was doing your hand movements as well. I mean,
Vanessa, how
I
would...
just want to say that no one who hasn't been in there can quite understand the horrible feeling of not knowing what everyone at home is thinking about you. You don't know. Do they think you're weird? Do they like you? Are you coming over well? Aren't you coming over well? You try not to obsess about it, but actually people do. And so people come in and they know what the whole world thinks about you. My God, of course you want to ask them. You want to know everything they've seen. What have the papers said? You know, what are my family saying? And so it's a very edgy thing because they are so unequal. They're the knowers. You don't know anything, and you'll feel. But yet you're the veteran, and they're meant to be the newbies, but they're coming in with all the power, and you're feeling like, oh my God, if I just ask them, maybe they'll tell me. And you really want to know. And is he looking at me funny because everyone hates me? I know it's impossible. Don't you agree?
I totally
it's impossible
agree
to overemphasise how weirdly insecure you feel.
But the funny thing is about that house, like you're saying, being on the inside, you do have a different view. Because, Rachel, when Bianca went in, she disliked Helen, did not like Helen at all. She's gone in, and she self-admittedly said last night, she's my best friend in the house, I love her.
But I think that's because when she met Helen face to face, she realised that actually they are very, very similar. Not only do they work in the same industry, but they both have very strong defence mechanisms in different behaviours, different ways, but very strongly defended. And I think they spoke the same language, and it's kind of a relief. You can speak in shorthand to somebody who just gets you.
Funky, why did you think the public weren't ready for Bianca? Why were they not ready for her?
Think about it. We've had full-blown sex in the house.
Yeah.
Bianca's gone in, exposing herself. We're not interested. We want to see something different. And I think she went in with the wrong mentality. I mean, why would you want to show everybody your breasts?
I've got to be honest, though. I thought when she went in, I was talking about this with someone else, I think she had the right mix of, like, old Big Brother, like Kinga, and then new Big Brother, like, the sort of clued up side of it.
But the viewers, we just didn't want that.
Yes, we did! We wanted to see Bianca in a Bukkake party scenario, didn't we? That's what we could have been up for.
I'll tell you what was wrong with it. It was too desperate, that was what was wrong with it.
There was desperation to it,
It didn't come from a spirit of fun.
No.
It didn't come from, I'm just a bit drunk, so let me get my tits out. It wasn't that. We've all done
it. Do you know what,
though? It was a spirit of, I'm absolutely desperate. I may not be in here very long. Let me show absolutely everything on day one. It was too much.
When you meet her, when you sit down and talk to her, I know there's a couple of you here that was here last night, you literally genuinely go, fuck, you actually like that, that's you. That is you, and I genuinely think that is her. I think it is.
It was too much, too soon, too desperate, And when she was saying all that to poor old Winston, and he was looking like, oh, God, you could see him wilting from your television. You could see every bit of his manliness kind of going back up. It was like his testicles were just reassembling. And you just thought, poor fellow, leave him alone. And that's why we didn't warm to her, didn't we? We didn't warm
Pav kept mentioning the public's perceptions when the newbies are making their decision. Is trying to get the public on side a good move, Vanessa? Because then you're not being true to yourself necessarily, and you come across as a bit fake.
Well, I thought he was very... I think Pav is interesting because I like the way he keeps talking
he's
about...
so
No, he's
boring.
not. He's not boring.
Really
Because
boring
no,
short
he's
man
not.
syndrome.
Because he keeps talking about power.
That's exactly
He
right.
uses the word power. We've got the power, so let's not just choose Ashley because she wants to go.
That's
Because if we
right.
do, we're squandering our
That's
power.
right.
Let's use our power to make
That's
someone
right.
do something they don't want to do. That's interesting. You know why? Because on TV, who mentions power? You keep stum about it. You know you've got it, but you don't tell everyone at home that you love. You're really getting off on it. I thought this was extraordinary,
And
this
he's
power
got a
thing.
psychology degree.
Yeah,
See?
it was true. So,
So-
listen, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on.
Interesting.
I just want to move on to Helen and Ash. We've seen a little smooch. Rach, what are you making of it? Is it going to go anywhere? We're going to see a bit more? Are they going to be the new Stimberley?
No, I think they're both going to be really cautious, and I think that it's possible that they just kind of came together as a result of this upset and upheaval in the group, and they ran back into their pairings. And I just think it was a little bit extra because it was a bit scary.
Funky, how do you think their relationship's going to progress?
I totally agree with Rachel, but I also think something else was happening there.
Go on.
Because if you listen to what he was saying, I think he thought he was going on Friday. So have the last kiss, remember me when I leave out of the house. So I think there was something else going on there. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think
We saw in tonight's show that they're a bit hesitant, aren't they, to take it further?
Yeah, because he's not gone. He's still
Hang
there.
on,
So
wait a second. What about the way she was stroking his hair?
she adores him,
When's
Vanessa.
the last time I stroked my other half's hair? Quite such a languorous, kind of fluid, kind of airless. And I thought, God, we've been together 8 years. It was probably like 7 years, 11 months, and 10 days ago I last. You know, that kind of thing. And I mean, don't you think that means that she is so into him?
She's into him.
And also
She's into him.
And she's doing so well. Don't you think he must? She's very gorgeous, isn't she?
But
Don't you think he must be into her?
No, I think they're just like, you know, like
Oh, I
friendship.
do.
But
I
listen,
think no.
I just want to ask, because obviously they've lost 4 housemates this week. When you think about Armageddon's took Marlon, Danielle, Bianca, and obviously Kim's left, obviously, because of ill health. Do you think the competition's really hotting up now, Funky? Because, you know, so many have gone in such a short space of time.
Big cull.
The competition is hot, and the threat of the newbies, because Zoe has a fan base. So could she get into the final? Everyone loves Pop Idol. Everyone, you know, she had a lot of cheers. So the threat's even more. So what do they do? Do they up their game, or do they? You know, it's going to be really interesting in the next few weeks.
Rachel, Kimberly, as we know, is gone. Is not coming back. We don't know what's going on there. How do you think Steve's going to cope? Because I love the bit when he's in the diary room with his ham sandwich. Right. Well, she's my. Where's the fucking ham? She's my partner, and. I just want to know if she's all right or not. I'm just going to get some more ham. I'll be back in a second.
And when he found out, poor love.
Is he that bothered, Rachel? How's he going to cope?
I think he will really miss having her there as his performing, his sidekick, really, because what she did for him was gave him a platform to tell everybody who he really is and how great he is. Little does he realise that he's having the opposite effect. I think he will latch onto Zoe, not as a romantic extra.
He won't be able to control her.
Not as a romantic extra, but because she is a compassionate listener.
Yeah.
He's already got
Done
her
it
under
already.
his
Yeah,
spell.
yeah.
She is already fallen for him.
Give him a bit of round of applause. That was good. That was a lovely bit of chat. I think we should have a little exclusive.
Oh, yes,
Thank you.
please, Ryan. Thank you.
Go on, then.
Hello, Stephen.
Hi.
Are you okay?
No. I feel really upset. I just like, from my perspective, right, without having a full-blown breakdown, you know, like, you have to understand that I've just gone from, like, having the person that I've fallen in love with in the house to not having her here. And I just, like, I don't know. I know that I'm going to cry and I'm not doing it. Stephen, I'm not doing it, so stop it, Stephen. This is happening way too often for me to get emotional. I'm a strong person and I've been strong for years. Am I even going to be able to go on and sit here and, like, compete in tasks and stuff? I don't let things go easily. I don't know. It's just fucking like... I don't fucking know.
My name's Steve, and I had a girlfriend, and we had sex. Now, Zoe and Pav sealed her fate last night, which means she gets to hang out with me and you, right?
Bog.
That's what I'm talking about. Please welcome Danielle.
Bit of a shock last night, babe. a bit of a shock for you. Has the first 24 hours been out of the house?
Oh, it's been madness. You know, obviously I just seen all the press stuff last night and done all my interviews today and sorted everything out. So yeah, it's been stressful, but I'm glad that I've put the record straight.
Dan, you look like a new woman, don't you?
Yeah.
You look like a brand new woman. You look like Danielle.
Why did you pretend to be all virginal and stuff like that because I've seen the pictures. I just
Yeah.
wonder why you were pretending to be that when there's a picture of pouring water on your fanny and stuff.
Pictures what? Sorry.
Picture of pouring water.
No, well, that's done for lads' match,
Well,
so
okay.
it's done in a different context.
Okay.
But basically, I wanted to be perceived on my personality, not as my job.
Right.
I didn't want to be judged on that, and you know, I've had to do certain types of work in the industry that maybe I didn't want to take priority of. But it's a very difficult industry, and when you've got responsibilities and when you've got bills to pay, you have to do.
Oh no, I'm not knocking that at all. I think it's a fine line of work. I just wondered why you kind of didn't.
Well, I just didn't. I didn't
embrace that in the
I just
in the
didn't
house.
want to be judged on it. That's why, and I just wanted to show my personality,
Well, good for you.
and that's who I am. That you've seen in the house, and you know when it came out that certain things were coming out in the press, I didn't know how to deal with it because I didn't know what was being said, and obviously it's a shock. It's a very pressured environment.
But obviously our
and-
newbies have gone in and they've seen
Yeah.
quite a lot of
They've
it.
seen it
Rach,
all.
why do you think that they went for Dan?
I think because I've always said this on the show, that younger people often think that personality, it's very black and white. You're either this or you're that. You can't be a contradiction of two things. And I think Christopher, who's gone so far up in my estimation this week as a result of protecting Bianca's modesty, and because
he was good, wasn't he, there?
he's
Yeah.
great, but he made a really, really pertinent point to you. He said, listen, we are all contradictions. We can be this and that at the same time. It looks confusing, but it's nobody's business but
define you
yours.
as a person.
Exactly. So some of us are contradictory, and that's just
And
the
that's
end of it.
hang on a sec. Of course we can be contradictory. That's absolutely right. But there are many career options in the world. You know, you can be, you know, a nurse. You can be a doctor. You can be a bus driver. You know, there are all sorts of things you can do. And if you feel very, very absolutely committed to religion and Christianity and virginity and modesty, it does seem, let's be fair about this, an unusual choice to go into the sex industry. It's not as if you were forced into it. I get that once you're in it, you have to work hard and it's hard to turn jobs down. But you didn't have to do that for a living.
No, I understand that. Firstly, I'd like to say I don't work in the sex industry. I work in the modelling industry. It's very, very different. And also to the point is, it doesn't mean that I'm any less of a Christian because of the work that I do, and I don't think that.
But why
defines
did
me
you
as a
choose
person.
that line of, you know, pouring water down your
I'd like
pants?
to tell Danielle that. I think that's a very personal
That was a
question, Vanessa. It's not a
magazine
therapy
shirt at the end
show.
of the day.
It's not a therapy show, you know.
Well, listen,
it may be
listen.
that's a very personal decision.
But you can see why people would draw that conclusion. That's all I'm trying to say.
Vanessa,
And it's
Vanessa.
not unkind of them. It's kind of quite,
So I wanted to say for a long
you know,
time. Vanessa Phelps,
understandable.
shut up. Now, she faced...
I know you've wanted to say it for a long time.
Now I've got the
You
now I'm
shut
getting
up.
paid to say it. Now I'm getting paid to say it. Where is Carol McGiffin? Now, she faced eviction in the first 3 weeks, but always managed to turn it around, Funky. Is it fair that she sat here tonight?
I think it's no, I'm not, and I'm saying I'm glad you're sitting here today because what I saw in the week, you really went in yourself. I didn't want to see you crumble. I think in the first few weeks when you stood up to Helen, that's what kept you in the house. And I think you've left with your head high because you know what? It wasn't the public that voted you out. It was two individuals that didn't really know you. So sit high, Danielle. You've done well.
Funky just wants an applause. That's all she wants.
We can all do that.
But listen, she was best friends with Ashley in the house, and the two of them seemed to spend a lot of time watching the others. Rach, do you think Danielle and Ashley separating themselves from the group in there was a bit of a bad choice?
I think it was good for you at the beginning when you did it, when everybody split off into couples, but eventually the groups came together, you know, and you didn't. And I do think it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because I think it meant that... Do you know what I thought the other way around? I thought if you'd stayed in and Ashley would have gone, we would have seen more of you, because I think Ashley has a very strong influence on you staying in your moral code. And you actually wanted to relax a little bit several times, and Ashley went, nuh-uh.
Well, in tonight's show, we saw Ashley say to Chris that he made her a lot happier than Danielle and that she looked after Danielle, not the other way around. Funky, did you see signs of this?
Well, I mean, you know, I've been a fan of Ashley's for many weeks, and I think I was a bit disappointed that she said that because the loyalty that you showed to Ashley, you know, was second to none. And
Yeah,
I think,
it was.
and you left, and then to talk about you in that way, I was quite disappointed.
Dan, what do you make of what Ashley said?
Yeah, it was disappointing, and it was a bit upsetting. But you know, at the end of the day, I think she was in shock as well. She really, really wants to go home, really wants to go home. And I think she genuinely thought that she was going to get picked, and she didn't. So, you know, I'm not going to hold it against her, because at the end of the day, in that environment, you say things that...
If you want to go home, you can just say, do you know what, I've had enough, I'm going home.
Yeah, but do you know what?
I don't know if I buy.
Do you know what I've noticed as well? Obviously, she actually had quite a massive argument sort of with Helen early on. Do you know what I mean? And then this week we've seen her getting quite friendly with her. I mean, how's that made you feel this week? Because we said last night on the show that you two have seemed quite fragmented this week.
Yeah, I think she just wants peace in the house, to be honest, and she just feels that with being civil to Helen, it's just going to just make it an easier environment to live in, to be honest. I think she still has the same opinions of her.
Yeah,
she's
it's just more of an easy
Danielle,
life.
who's going to win this year?
I think Christopher could win.
Yeah, I think he's looking the strongest. And who do you think needs to be worried next week?
Stephen, get Stephen out.
Who do you reckon's in the firing line next week?
Yeah, I think Stephen's
Stephen.
for it, yeah.
2 seconds, Steve.
I do.
Yeah. You see him in tonight's show. Well, at least I've got a nickname. Do you know, when I go out, I'll tell him 2 hours more like. Yeah, all right, Steve. You tell him 2 hours. Let's see who's going to buy that.
Still to come, our sides are going to be weighing up the new housemates' chances of survival, plus your weekly dose of Diary Room Uncut. We'll see you after this.
Strap it to the leg.
Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side.
Hey, so it's official. Pav and Zoe are here to stay for now, but have they got what it takes to go all the way? Let's see how smart they really are. And as a special treat, Bianca also makes an appearance in this.
Which country flag has horizontal white, green and red stripes?
White, green and red. Scotland? No. Oh, shit.
Horizontal, green and red. Pass.
White, green and red. Italy.
Australia, maybe?
Which month has 28 days in it? Oh, I'm shit with months.
February.
February?
July? Which planet is the furthest from the sun? The moon?
Pluto. I don't have no idea.
Mars? Maybe.
What is Dr. Carl Kennedy's job in Neighbours?
Oh, he's a doctor.
Doctor.
Never even seen Neighbours.
Was that a joke?
Complete the quote, one small step for man, another leap for mankind.
One human leap for mankind.
One small step for man. To get to Winston? I don't know. Oh my God, that don't even make sense.
Can you not tell us what I got right?
I don't know, a lot better after that fly went buzzing in my ear hole.
What is Dr. Carl Kennedy's job in Neighbours? Had that one, bruv. Doctor.
Fair play. Right, I'm not keen on Pav, but he's gone up in my estimation. Oh, yeah, I'm shit at months. That's a brilliant sentence. I'm shit at months.
We've seen how much they know, but will that knowledge count in the house? Funky, why do you think the public chose to save Pav and Zoe?
Well, I think Zoe's obviously got the favourite because she's been on Pop Idol, but Pav, he's doing something in the house. You know, he actually instigated that Danielle should, you know, if you look back at the filming, he was saying we need to change. Zoe wasn't quite sure, and that's showing you that he actually has power in the
Bianca
house.
said last night, before she left the house, they would all agree on Ashley going.
And I think he could be a good game player in the house and shake things up.
Vanessa, Zoe had a positive reaction last night from the crowd. Do you think it's deserved this
Yeah, I
early
think
on?
it's deserved. She's nice. I think she's nice. She seems to be sensible. She seems to be quite kind. She's a good listener. I think she's good. But I think that Pav fancies Ashley.
Really?
Yes. Because he's like, I don't really want her to go. I don't really want her to go. And you think, well, why don't you want her to go? What is it about her you don't want to see
saying
go?
there's more to see.
I
She
think,
can
more
grow.
to see. We know what he wants to see. Obviously, he really likes her. I think he fancies her. That's what I think.
Right, Zoe's reaction to the eviction twist was a lot more emotional than Zoe and Pav's. Do you think?
You mean when she won Miss World?
Yeah, like, I know, and that's how some might see it. Do you think that was a genuine reaction? I mean, I can't really talk about emotional outbursts myself, but do you think that was maybe a little bit, like, rehearsed?
I don't know, because I don't know her well enough to make a judgment yet. We've got nothing to gauge, but it did seem like a big reaction. So either this means a much, much more to her than we know, or she's playing a game. It's got to be one or the other.
Funky, Pav has been he's been kind of putting his ideas forward, but letting other people take control a bit. Do you think he's going to push himself a bit more as it goes on?
Yeah, but he's putting his ideas forward and people are following them. If you think about it. So that's, you know, someone that puts an idea in, you think about it, and then you realise that I'm right. That's why I think he has got a bit of power in the house. And he likes power, because when the power's taken away, you see he started to feel a bit...
Did Pav and Zoe change their mind at the last minute to pick you, Danielle? Pav was the one who really didn't want to evict Ashley, so he got his way. Is he more powerful than we think?
It's really interesting, because you just said that as well, that when they were discussing it, Bianca was actually sitting with her back to Pav, talking to Zoe as if he didn't count for anything at all. He just sat there quietly, almost uninterested in their conversation, because he was just going to stick with whatever he thought, regardless of what the girls were talking about. And eventually Zoe did acquiesce, so I guess so.
Dan, when you went last night, you didn't say goodbye to Zoe and Pav.
No, I didn't.
What was your thoughts of them before they obviously decided to evict you?
I don't know. I don't really think...
Oh, that fly's back. Look.
It's back.
Seriously, it's got more airtime than any of us.
I don't really think either of them are genuine, to be honest with you. I've got my speculation on both of them, and I think her reaction yesterday was totally over the top when she got saved. I mean, it really was totally dramatic. But I just didn't want to say goodbye to them purely because, you know, it was a bad judgment. Yeah, exactly. So I felt it was just best just to say goodbye to the other housemates.
Funky, do you think that they've got the stigma of being new? What's that fly would piss off? It's a flying ant, Ryan, and look out!
I've had bees this week.
Do you think that they're going to be able to shake off the stigma of being a newbie?
I don't think it's... I mean, they're always going to be the newbie, in our eyes and with the housemates. But I think Zoe can play the cards quite well in that she befriends everyone in the house. Whereas I think he may not do that. He may just... I think him and Stephen... No, but mind you, in tonight's show, he did that. He put his hand around Stephen and is to say, look, we can be pals.
So you're shaking your head.
No, I think you can override the stigma of being a newbie. You just sort of look as if you've been hanging around for a long time. You blend in with the furniture. You sort of, you know, you look as if you're not that new. You kind of,
I always hang out
you try
here.
to look a bit antique and vintage. You can. I think you can. But we can warm to new ones.
I'm going to ask
and forget how new they are.
I'm going to ask all of you. We've seen massive divides in the house, haven't we, since day one. Where are the newbies going to fit in with these divides that we already know?
I think Pav's going to form an alliance with Ashley with a view to trying to cop off with her, certainly. And I think Zoe might adopt a sort of maternal role and be the confessor and be the advisor and be just someone that everyone can bounce off. I don't think, because she's been watching the show, she's going to chum in with Helen too much.
No.
But she won't alienate her either. I think she's going to play it very carefully and well.
I think Pav is going to mix in with the guys.
Yeah.
I think Zoe will try and form an alliance with Ashley, saying that she wants to get to know her a bit more.
And nurture her a little
nurture
bit.
her. I think Zoe will do everyone, and she will do it very well.
Dan, do you think any new alliances are going to form in there?
I can definitely see Zoe getting close to Helen. I mean, now there's only 3 girls in the house, so I would be surprised if the 3 of them came together, but I don't know. I think Zoe will form an alliance with Helen.
I think that'd be dangerous if Zoe does that.
So do I.
Funky, knowledge is power. Sorry to interrupt, Danielle. We sort of one side. Knowledge is power, and obviously Pav and Zoe know everything that we know. They know everything that we've seen. Do you think that some of the housemates might start changing their behaviour to try and impress them?
I think so. I think we're starting to see that with Steve. I mean, even though he's not doing a good job about it. And I think knowledge is power. And like Vanessa said, having that, you know, when you're in that house, we will never know what it's like because we've never been in the house. You do become paranoid. What do people think about you? Do people like you? And I think, you know, Pav and Zoe can manipulate that in a way.
Vanessa, how do you think the newbies should play it?
Yeah, I think they should just be quite calm, not say too much and try and blend in a bit. But I would just like to say that I thought Zoe's reaction was completely genuine when she looked so thrilled and emotional. And the reason I think that is because when you're in there, it's so ramped up. It's like one giant holiday romance whirled round and you kind of like, everything, your emotions are so high octane. You don't want everyone to hate you. You want to feel that people like you. And when they do, and it seems like they do, you feel so relieved. It's not a front, it's not false.
I don't think she
It's easy for us to sit on the outside and sit here and say, this is Ashley, they need to play it, or this is what they need to do. You've been in there, Dan. You know this household. What should the new ones do to have an easy life in there?
I don't know. I think they're always going to have the stigma attached with them that they are newbies. But I don't know. I think they're both game players, to be honest. So they'll definitely mix around with all the other groups, and it'll just become one group, I think.
Here's a question. We were talking about this earlier on.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, right? Because you're a Big Brother fan. Do you reckon that one of these newbies could win it?
Well, do you know what?
There have been ones in the past.
But I mean, Brian Bello, he come in quite late on. You know, we've had a lot of people previous that have come in, or 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever long, and gone on to be in the final at least. I don't know.
I reckon.
I don't know.
I reckon Zoe could give Christopher a run for his
when a
money.
new person comes in. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're a bit more entertaining. They shake it up a bit. You know, you've
But
seen about all
do
you can
not-
stand of the
Do you not
original.
think, though, that this particular group, we've seen so much, we've been through so much with them, they've been so confrontational, so fragmented, that as a public, that we are kind of warm towards the original group.
That reaction
more
that
than
Zoe
usual.
got, though,
Yes,
that reaction that Zoe
yes
got
and
was
no.
incredible.
Yeah.
I think she could be in with a chance.
Top 3.
But bearing in mind, she does have a lot of exposure. She's
Yeah.
been on Pop Idol, she's been in the
that's
West End, so
Yeah.
she has media
She's
traits.
got a
She
fan
knows what
base
she's
already,
doing, and
let's
she's
be
got a
honest.
very
Yeah.
large fan base. So you've got to bear that in mind. And do I think that's fair to put someone of that calibre in so late on in the season? No, I don't, because I don't think it's fair on everyone else.
Fair point.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much. Time for that weekly treat that we like to call Diary Room Uncut. Have a look at this.
People think I'm a prude here. I keep getting this thing. Sorry, Chris. Oh, look at Chris's face. I'm not being prudish. I'm embarrassed because you're talking about bowel movements and bums and boobs, but there's no humour in it.
Hi, Stephen, Kimberly. How are you?
We're
We're good. How are you?
So that's simultaneous then.
Cringe.
The only other people I meet who do that for the sake of it are in preschool.
I know people think I overreact a lot. I think I'm a little bit dramatic, but if you brought a camel in the house, oh my god, I can't even describe what it'd be like. I love everything about them.
I don't meet many people from preschool. I need to establish this now.
Best fan. I'm a bit
I would love a cook before bed. A what? Is there a what? Is there a cook in there, big bro? She wants a penis. I'll have a brew.
You're on a mad thing.
Shut up.
Bianca's quite well, she's really forward, like well forward.
Hi! Hi!
Hey!
I don't know, well, she's just told me she wants to ride my cock, so I don't know.
I can't see anyone.
Hello, cousin Nick.
I got my tie. Look. Matt's sucking it off.
No, it's a beautiful tie. But
Style is guru.
It's a beautiful tie.
It's a beautiful tie.
Stay tuned to see some of Pav's moves in the shower. Plus, I'm going to be sending this into the reality gallery. I'll see you after this. Welcome back to Bit on the Psych. And do you know what? Just like Zoe, we don't want to be judged on our talent. We want to be recognised for who we are. Here's today's news. At 12:34 this afternoon, Pav was busting out the beats in the shower.
You all right in there, Pav?
Oh, you're right.
I was like, what the hell was that noise?
Yeah. I'm just making some beats.
What's something? I thought there were some workmen in here.
Pardon?
I thought there were people like workmen in here or something.
You're in?
They're just...
Right, dance.
No, I don't know.
Just try it.
No, I'm not doing it. I can only dance drunk.
Screw the light bulb and pat the dog.
Screw the light bulb.
Screw the light bulb and pat the dog, yeah? 1, 2, 3, go. You have to bounce your legs as well.
Go on, Pav! I'm liking that! Mind you, in all fairness, it looks like Pav might be the new shower housemate. Yeah. Get it? Power! OK. At 12:59 this afternoon, Winston and Ash discuss the effect that Kimberly leaving has had on Stephen.
I feel sorry for him. Yeah. Like, I'm dead gutted now, like, the thought of, like, if Helen goes, so imagine, like, him all, like, loved up and shit with her. Because he spends, like, just as much time with her as I do with Helen, doesn't he? But he's all loved up and shit. Must be well hard for him. especially I think what's going through his head. Like, she's coming out. The only place she lives is with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I wonder what people are going to be saying about, like, Kim leaving the house. You know, because of all the shit that's gone on. Can they all be like, she's saying she's ill because she's got another pressure of it all and shit like that?
Dunno.
Now, obviously, Winston is a bit lost for words. I mean, look at him. Poor him. He's lost Tamara, Danielle, and obviously the love of his life, Bianca. But you know what, Vince? Don't worry, mate, because I think they'll all be waiting for you when you get out. And finally, at 3:45 this afternoon, the housemates took part in a copycat task and things got very out of hand.
In 3, 2, 1.
Piabs.
Lines are against the clock. Go, go, go. What?
It's not fair.
Sure Steve can do that? Stephen,
Yes,
copy
sir.
that.
Steve. Pull it up. Pull it up.
Guys, you're gonna rip your skin back down. You're gonna rip.
As he did not hula hoop and did not successfully copy Winston,
Oh my God.
the winner of that round is Team B.
Oh my God! Stephen has got to shave part of his head. I think we're going to have another little Christopher do on our hands, but don't worry, we're going to tell you how you can find out the outcome of what's happened. That's today's news. All right. God help us. Ian Lee's up in the reality gallery. What's going on?
I don't want her to ride my cock. I don't want her to ride my cock.
Ian.
I'll go on then in a minute. Sorry, right, I'm just talking to... anyway, right,
Yeah.
so just to say that you saw Stephen messing around there. He shaved all of his hair off.
What else?
Stephen got to speak to Kim on the phone in the diary room and, well, he couldn't really tell her too much because he was eating a ham sandwich.
Can we rewind?
Yeah.
What?
Stephen spoke to Kim over the phone in the diary room.
As you do. The casual phone in the
Yeah,
diary room.
and he couldn't talk to her too much because he was eating a ham sandwich and a pizza in the oven, which was far more important. And that, Riley, is your lot, sir.
Thank you, Ian Lee. Get over it. He's a wind-up. Right, let's get digital with Stu, Vanessa and Danielle over on the sofa. I'm going to mosey on over. All right, hello, Stu.
All right, how's it going? Good to
You
see
all
you.
right? And you, babe? What we got going on?
Right, so yeah, as you heard, as Ian said, Stephen shaved his head.
Yeah.
I guess hair without Kimberly just isn't worth having.
Yeah.
I don't know what the thought is.
Obviously.
Yeah. We've got the video of that. That's on our website, so go have a look at that. It is fantastic.
I'll have a look at that.
It's all going on.
What else we got?
What else we got? Well, you know this. We've got Ryland's Bright Size Sunday happening tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always happens. Don't forget, check that out on the app and the website tomorrow. It's the highlight of the series, Dan. You'll love it.
Absolutely. Also, we've got loads of content with our two evictees, of course, Bianca and Danielle. Danielle
Fantastic.
also did a Facebook chat with us yesterday where it says here she dished the dirty.
Oh.
So, yeah, go have a look at
Go on, girl.
facebook.com/Big
We got any tweets,
Brother.
Ness?
Yes, we do. This one says, Armageddon, OMG. Bianca, did you have to get your boobs out on the way out? Couldn't have her. Thank God she's gone.
Oh. We've got time for another one.
From Polly C, I'd love her to be put into a secret room and given the power. Wishful thinking, BB Danielle, BB Armageddon.
Oh, God. Listen, give these guys a massive round of applause. Well done tonight, guys. Really great. Listen, unfortunately, that is your lot for tonight. A massive thank you to all of our guests and our fantastic audience. And a massive thank you to Vanessa Feltz for coming in tonight. Thank you. Massive thank you to Danielle. I'll be back here on Monday with Bianca, Susie Amy, Glyn Wise and Pam Spur's going to be here as well. Until then, I'll see you Monday. Night, guys.